Hello, it is Ant-Man 1793, and I am welcoming you all to the Lands Between. I am doing an all bosses run, so I'm trying to explain this run first because I don't think I did it that well in the first video, so I'm doing it right now as a precursor. So I'm doing all of the bosses, mainline bosses, no quest lines, no complicated things like that. All bosses, so that's why the number in the title in the thumbnail says 210 because that's the number of non quest line bosses with quests included. The boss number goes up to like 223, something like that. Like I'm only missing like 20 some bosses out of everything. uh so not a big number. So yes, we are just doing the bosses. It's not necessarily like a major walkthrough or playthrough of everything that I'm doing. I am definitely not showing everything. Like I don't even think I show how to get Flame Grant Me Strength. I just run and get that shit myself. And this is a post video, as you can see. I want to be mentioning things that I'm learning after the fact, and I do notice some people do say, and I've realized it in previous Dark Souls games, but now that they have increased the leveling scaling all the way up to 25 now, because most games it was just 10. Now that it's at 25, the beginning areas and the beginning uses of your runes, honestly guys, like I would just spend it on uh vigor and stamina to get those stats where you want them first, because just upgrading the weapon with the required equipment is way more effective. Again, I hear some people saying this, but I don't think I hear as many people as they should be talking about it. So I just want to be re-emphasizing that first. uh, I feel like you're wasting some runes dropping it into strength. But on the other hand, if you have a weapon that you really like and you need to hit the weapon requirement on it, well, that's a different story. Make sure you get the runes in the places that you need them to be, and then you obviously have yeah, then you get the runes that they want. Okay. I don't know if I had a perfect thumbnail, perfect drop down list of this one, but I played a lot. Seen on my YouTube that I've played all of the Dark Souls games. Playing a lot of Dark Souls games. And I have to admit that this game is top tier difficulty once you get to the later bosses. I have to say Margit in Stormville Castle, he, Margit and Godric the Grafted do feel like uh a decent step up in terms of difficulty and like trying to fight. But honestly, for the people that think it's like use spirit ashes, use the like you use every tool that's available for you, because they amp up the aggravation in enemies and bosses in this game, because there's a lot more tools for you to defend yourself with that. So I think you're not wrong for using anything to beat these bosses. These are tough ass bosses. The double bosses, and there's a lot of double bosses. Some of them are a lot more hyped up than others said to be, because I think I saw a long dispute argument in what's worse, the Godskin duo bosses or Ornstein and Smog from Dark Souls 1. And honestly, I have to put my foot down for Ornstein and Smog in Dark Souls 1, because that duo was fucking tough. The Godskin duo, it's tougher in Night Rain, honestly, in my opinion. They're tougher in Night Rain than they are in Elden Ring. So I don't know what to do with that information. Everyone must be familiar with this area. because they think they need to achieve this area so then that they can hit some rune farming. But honestly, this game is like Skyrim in the sense of like exploration, all the dungeons. There's a lot of shit in each area that you come by. So I have to make the argument that Elden Ring by far is a game where you don't need to rune farm. If you rune farm, well, if you're rune farming, you're probably doing it for very specific reasons, like you're doing it for challenge runs, this that, like you're like I understand those reasons of like rune farming, but like if you're just trying to enjoy Elden Ring, just venture out in some areas, battle some bosses, find some cool loot that you didn't know was there before. I think you are narrow minding the whole game by just like coming to this area, rune farming for like 2 hours, and then like going. I don't think you need to rune farm because I'll show you right now that I beat this game at level 163. I don't think you need to be really that much higher of a level, to be frank. I got 70 strength. How much more strength do you need? Endurance 50 and vigor 60. Like those stats seem up like up very high. Like you don't need more. So then all these it's I well, I'm not trying to say that people are bad beating the game at level 200 or whatever. Like I'm not trying to say that. Like if you just end up at a higher level, you end up at a higher level. But I'm trying to get at that all of the bosses in each area, Limgrave, Weeping Peninsula, Stormhill Castle, Liurnia, Caelid, like doing all of those areas, doing each boss that the game gives you. And again, in my opinion, you don't even need to do the quest lines. You can just do the base bosses. You're getting enough runes. I got to I know I was already level 60 at the uh Aria Academy. I can't remember exactly what level I was in Stormvale Castle, but I knew I was very well comfortable where I was sitting at. Like I was not being punished left and right. Like I was comfy. So I'm not trying to say that rune farming is bad. I just think that in this game specifically, because I know in other Dark Souls games, I've had to take a minute and be like, oh shit, like I gotta go soul farm, I gotta go do this just to get an extra level boop and this and that. But this game, nah, like you do not have to do that. Like every boss is presentable to you, like how it should be, and it's not hard. The progression steps up very nicely. The HP, the damage, it's like it's a nice increment in each area. And I'm gonna end the video where it all begins in Limgrave. What else would I like to say? This game was absolutely marvelous, and I think they did the same thing that they like, or like I'm not sure if they did this purposely or whatever, but no hopeful too much spoilers. But in my humble opinion, the Elden Beast was almost a cinematic fight, like what we got in Sekiro versus Melania in this game. Like people now, like I understand what people say, and I understand it now. How Melania is, I think, and in my opinion, the humble last boss, true last boss of this game. Because I will just say that there are mechanics that they give Melania that they've never given another From Software boss. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm not misstating that one. And realizing that when I first walked into the arena and realizing what the kind of fuck mess that I just got myself into. Woof. A couple days later, though, after beating, then it was a heart-filled joy. But again, I did it solo, and I wanted to test myself to see how hard the game was, with no help, no ashes, no war summons, no nothing. Just me, myself, and I. and it proves its difficulty. Definitely proves its difficulty, and especially for a strength user. I mean, if you can at least if you can manage the damage scaling, though, actually, the staggers, everyone gets staggered breaked in this game, honestly, and it's nice. I don't feel like I recognize that as much in later games. So if you can keep up with the damage and stagger, strength builds do come up, and like they keep up with dexterity builds, because everyone wants to talk about how nice dexterity builds are in this game. I fucking hate dexterity builds. You know what my two weapons are of choice? Bonk, bonk. You want to see how much damage I can do after flame grant me strength? I'll show you real quick. Where's some enemies? Here's some enemies. Flame grant me strength. I'll do blood flame blade just as well, just to showcase. And I got the jump scale talisman, 13 hundo, 1600. So that right there, ladies and gents, is why. Okay, you know what? I'm trying to showcase these people how nice this thing is. Boom, just one shot at them. So that's why strength builds are great, because you can literally just start one-shotting shit, and it's no big deal. Dex players say what? So that is all for my Night Rain, for my Elden Ring run. And shout out to Night Rain for nice using the bosses, because I do admit that the bosses from Night Rain, you gotta appreciate all the games where all these bosses come from, because it's something. So this is the start. I don't know if you're gonna watch all this, but thank you all, and I hope you enjoy the bosses that I'm destroying, because that's basically what I'm doing here. It's just hopping from boss to boss. So thank you all, and this is Ant-Man 1793. Oops. Ant-Man 1793 signing out.